I can't hear a thing. Oh my word. That is possibly the greatest engine sound I have ever heard. So if you want to wind that intro back and listen to it all over again, as many times as you want, I wouldn't blame you. But once you've done that, come back and watch the rest of the video so I can tell you all about the incredible car that makes that noise.
This is the source of that spine-tingling sound. It's the Pagani Huayra R Evo Roadster, a track-only limited edition rolling work of art. It's powered by a naturally aspirated 6-litre V12 that develops 888 brake horsepower and revs to over 9,000 RPM. That's in something that weighs just 1,060 kilograms dry and delivers downforce levels on a par with an LMP2 racing car. When style is this strong, substance is usually lacking some way behind, but that's just not the case with the Huayra R Evo Roadster. Trouble is, it's a little loud for your average MSV track day, which means that you can't just rock up at Brands Hatch with an unmodified car and take it for a blast. And that's disappointing when you've just paid about £3.9 million for it. However, Pagani has you covered with its very own track day programme. Called Arte in Pista, it's a highly exclusive club that allows members to drive their Paganis at the world's best and most recognisable circuits, from Spa to Circuit of the Americas and many more. It was launched in 2021 alongside the Huayra R and has been incredibly popular with Pagani's client base across the world. Today, we're at Monza, home to the Italian Grand Prix, and with its mix of tight technical chicanes, long straights, and seemingly never-ending final corner, it is the perfect place to sample Horacio Pagani's ultimate track weapon.
Now, before I go out on track, which I am desperate to do, I'm just going to take you through some of the design details of this car, because it is honestly spectacular, as I'm sure you can see. It's not just like a modified version of the Huayra. It doesn't actually share any parts at all with the Huayra R. It shares the mirrors, but otherwise it's completely different. So it's got a dedicated engine and a dedicated chassis, and the chassis is made out of Class A carbon fibre, and that means it's 38% stiffer than the regular R, which is obviously quite a big deal. Also, the design itself was inspired by the 60s and 70s Le Mans Longtail or Codalunga prototypes, and that means that the front end, it extends out, the aero element extends out by 110 millimeters more, and the rear by 190 millimeters more. As a result of those changes, the surface area of the aerodynamic underbody has been vastly expanded, and that means that you're getting 45% more downforce than the Huayra R, and that was already making about a ton at 200 miles an hour, so this is massive, massive downforce on this car.
Also impressive is that the Roadster part of the car, namely the open roof panels, actually enhance aerodynamic efficiency, whereas usually it's the opposite. Horacio Pagani took design cues after watching a Formula Indy race in Nashville and wanted to integrate the aero screen design into his cars. This translates as a double open top roof that increases front and rear vertical load, with total downforce up by 5% as a result.
So the suspension on the Huayra R is double wishbone with electronically activated shock absorbers, and it's the same on this, but it's got a new heave damper, and what that does is it helps maintain better control of the ride height, which is absolutely crucial to getting the most out of the aerodynamics, which, as we discussed, is a very, very big part of this car. Also, the tyres, Pirelli P0 slicks, they're 19 inches at the front and 20 inches at the back, and 345mm width, so absolutely massive tyres. You can get them as wets as well, but thankfully we're not going to use them today. Finally, the brakes, you've got 6-pot at the front, 6-pot at the back. They're carbon ceramics, and when you consider that the car weighs barely over a ton, got slick tyres, carbon brakes, it's going to stop pretty hard.
And if you think the exterior of the Huayra R Evo Roadster is special, then check out the interior.
Honestly, as track cars go, this is the nicest interior I have ever sat in. I mean, full-on racing cars, which this is not, but it still has the pace of one, so it's in that category, usually have an interior beauty of their own. So you've got lots of exposed wiring, it's very functional inside, it's very hardcore. This is undoubtedly a pretty place to be. You've got carbon absolutely everywhere. You've got pale coloured upholstery. You've got a beautifully designed wheel. There's no shared components in here. It is all exquisite and unique. Even the air vents are an absolute work of art, and hopefully they also work because it is boiling. But yeah, what a place to sit. I mean, the view out, you've got the carbon splitting the windscreen in two. It's like some sort of alien spaceship fighter jet. You've got the two open bits above your head and the passenger's head, and the latches for that, they're also a work of art. It's just spectacular. And I've got two screens in front of me. One, I believe, is going to be for the view out the back, and the other is the main dash with your speed, gear, ABS settings, tyre temps, all that sort of thing. It's never going to race, this car, but it is full-on racing car inside, but with just a lovely layer of finesse and luxury on it. Honestly, I'm almost more blown away by the inside than the outside. It's that good.
The interior is clearly a beautiful thing to just simply sit and admire. But you know, it's an even better place to pilot this incredible car from, and as it happens, my turn behind the wheel has just come up. So here goes.
Roadster has got to be one of the world's greatest racing circuits. It was built in 1922 in just 110 days, and it was the world's third purpose-built circuit. The layout now is very different to the original. It hasn't got the massive bank cone, but it's still an incredible place to come. It tells the Italian round in the Formula 1 Grand Prix every year by 1950. And if ever there was a car worthy of the circuit, it has got to be it. Wow. So coming into the first cave, the grip is sensational, even on tyres that aren't fully warm. Wow. Already it feels like a GT3 on steroids. I'm going to have to concentrate here. This is something else. I think the aero can't possibly be working at this speed, but then I look down and I see how fast we're going. And it makes sense. Wow, fourth gear, 200 kph. Fifth gear. Oh my word. Fourth. Third. Heavy braking. A little bit of brake tunnel. They've reprofiled the circuit so I can take a bit more currently, and there it is. Wow. There's one of the cameras that's just fallen off. I hope you can hear me, I can't hear myself. Oh my word! 6 litre V12 on nearly 900 brake horsepower at 8,750 RPM, but it can race to 9,200. Top of it, 568 pounds for the two. I've got nowhere near the 63. I don't tell you, but I'm sure it's very, very fast. Coming down the main straight, we're approaching 300 kph. Hard onto the brake. All the way down to first gear. Trying to keep the brake pressure. Nice video.
Once I'd got the tyres properly up to temperature, the grip levels were astonishing. Even without the aero working in the really slow stuff, the car's ability to make a tricky chicane feel like a quick left-right was utterly amazing. Also, the gearbox, it weighs just 80 kilograms and it has its own housing made especially for this car. You'd think it would have more than 6 speeds, but actually it always felt spot on, never with gearing too long. What's more, the responses and the crispness of the changes were just addictive.
They've obviously tried to make this car as drivable as possible. It's not driven by professional racers. So it has to be friendly and approachable. And it just feels so responsive. I can't hear a thing. Alright, let's try and get this chicane better than last time. So, patience is the name of the game of Monster. Patience on the power. Back in the power, second gear. Third. Making an overtake. Well, I can say I've made an overtake in the Huayra Roadster. Keeping the power on now through the long right-hander. So, cars like this make you feel unquick.
Speaking to Pagani's engineers, it's understandable why the Huayra R Evo Roadster doesn't race. It's just not what it's been built for. But that doesn't mean it's not up to the standard of a racing car. Much of the safety specs match or exceed Le Mans hypercars, while for sheer pace it's easily competitive with a front-running LMP2 car around Monza.
Oh my word. It's like a 63 on steroids. That's all I can describe it as. It looks like an oil painting. It sounds like Everstone Orchestra. And it goes like hell.
And just like that, my time in the Huayra R Evo Roadster was over. As a track machine, it is mind-blowingly fast. It's a similar power-to-weight ratio as the Bugatti Chiron, and it absolutely feels it. Yet the moment you turn the steering wheel, it's clear that this car is far beyond anything allowed on the road. It makes supercars feel like buses, yet it doesn't demand the world from you in order to do this. You don't need to be a racing driver to enjoy the Huayra R Evo Roadster. All of the aids and systems can be dialed up or down as much as you wish, but regardless of the settings, the noise, the sound and the experience of that engine is always there. A metallic song so precious and rare in 2025, it's every bit as good as anything that's laid a wheel on this hallowed circuit. As far as I'm concerned, this is the pinnacle. It's a work of art and the ultimate track day toy all at the same time. In short, it's about as close to perfection as you will ever see or hear.